Hi Leo, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. This, Leo, is your birthday reading, your birthday intuitive healing tarot reading for the time between the 25th and the 25th of July and the 8th of August. This reading does include some Reiki at a distance that you can access. So you can also check out that little video just to explain how to access it, but it's very simple and straightforward. And if you watch and engage, you'll be able to access that Reiki as well. Okay, my darlings, I've already shuffled and meditated. I'll do a little bit more of that on camera and then we'll get started in your reading. We're going to look at the last week in July and the first week in August, and we'll also look at some key energies and outcomes for the time period. Let's get started. Okay, my darlings, card at the base of the reading is the Five of Cups. The card at the base of the reading is the overall perspective that you need to see this reading through, or this week, or this time period through. And this for you guys is the Five of Cups, which is a change in your emotional world. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Oh God, I don't know what happened there. My finger just. Anyway, okay, so maybe you need to see that as well. Maybe for some of you, it's including a Capricorn, or it's something to do with your world. Okay, so your manifested world, so your relationships, your job, your work, your family situation, something like that. Something that's, with this energy, we know that you're feeling tied to something. You have been feeling tied to something, and that is about to change for you. The Five of Cups tells us that, because all fives are about change, they indicate changes that we must go through, and this is obviously related to your emotions. So it could be an event, a situation, or circumstance that arises over this next couple of weeks. But with it being on the base of the reading, it's in essence what it talks about is you becoming aware of something that needs to be changed, an attitude, a situation, a circumstance related to your emotions that needs to change. Okay, let's have a look at your key energy, your first key energy. This will be your outcome, and we'll look at this one first. We've got the Six, excellent. We've got the Six of Swords. So this is very interesting, isn't it? We know straight away that there's movement coming with your thought processes, with your thoughts, your mind, your clarity, your consciousness, and your communication, how you speak, what you say, what you think, what you allow yourself to think, etc. This is the energy of the Swords. And number 6 is about beauty. On the Tree of Life, it's beauty. And that's really about the appreciation of something. It's about appreciating the experiences that we've had, the things that we've gone through, and recognizing that those things give us wisdom and that bring us to where we are now. So what this is saying is that you're going to become clear in your mind about something. There's been, hang on. See, this is what just come through. Then there's been a reluctance. You've been reluctant to release something, or to move past something, or to move beyond something. You've been reluctant to do that up until this point. It's looking like there's something now coming up that you're ready to move on for. This is about balance. This card, it's about card of balance, a balanced mind, a clear mind, clear ideas, and some of you have been, because that's what you do, you're good people, Leos. You're very strong for other people, and you've been holding it together almost for other people, and it's time really to give yourself some to give yourself some love, to give yourself some attention, to give yourself some compassion, okay? So let's have a look then. So that's your key energy. So let's have a look at this week, okay? So July, last week of July, we've got the World card. Excellent. So this is really perfect, isn't it? So we've said, I've just said to you, you know, it's about time now that you start this new thing, that you release these things that need changing and move forward and start giving yourself some compassion, some love. And actually, it's looking like you're entering new karma. We're all entering new karma at the moment. Currently, that's just because of the astrology that's occurring. We've had the eclipses happen. You can read below for that information there. But we've had the eclipses happen at the beginning, during this month, and then now, you know, now we're sort of moving into new energies, new experiences. But there's things that we just finally need to release. And wow, what a big month for you guys. 3 major arcanas. We've got the World card, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, and the 10 of Cups. Oh, Leo. My mummy and my brother's a Leo, so I love this for them as well. So we've got this energy of the World card, first of all. I'm loving this. This is looking like, just as a sort of overview, it's a very spiritual time for you. You're going to be engaging with new things, new subjects, new parts of yourself, new ideas about yourself, things that maybe you've shunned in the past. If you're someone who is psychic or a medium, whatever it is, I'm using that because it could be anything. I'm just, whatever whatever it is, your gift, your skill, you're going to start to engage with it now. There's I'm interested about this card though, this 5 of Cups. It seems so, it seems out of place. It seems out of place. That might be you, as in like you've misplaced something, or you failed to see something, or regarding your emotions, regarding your emotional state, regarding your intuition potentially. So it could be potentially, you know, for some of you, you may have in the past ignored your intuition, or you've ignored that part of yourself. You've ignored the fact that you're psychic or a medium or whatever it is. It doesn't feel like the traditional, like traditionally we would say with this is your emotional baggage card. So traditionally this is basically what this represents. It represents emotional baggage that you've been carrying around, and then there's a recognition that the emotional baggage is no longer necessary. The sacrifices have been made, blood has been spilled, but you can still have a happy life and a happy situation. So you don't need to focus on the sad things that have hurt in the past. That's usually what this card, you know, represents, if you will. But I don't feel that with this. I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's something much more on a deeply spiritual level, i.e. there's been something misplaced was the word. So it's like there's something that, a skill or a gift that you have, maybe that's a psychic gift or a gift on that, a healing gift or something that's sort of been, you've not looked at it, you've overlooked it, or you've misplaced it, or you've not been focusing on it. And it's as if that's something that's about to change for you. There's going to be you're going to refocus your efforts to developing your spirituality, some of you. And we've got this, let's look at the cards anyway for July. So we've got the World card. And this card, it's card 21. It represents new beginnings, new starts. And it represents being, if you think about the Fool card is us taking that leap into that new place, us stepping out, recognising a new environment with stuff that we've learned from the past. We're going to take the stuff that we've learned from the past with us. This is you being at that point where you're ready to have a new beginning. This is you being at that point where you recognise and realise, so the step before the Fool. This is you being at that point where you recognise and realise that it's time to enter this new place, this new start, this new beginning. I'm at that point where I'm ready to now. I'm ready to walk away. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to begin. This is you being ready to begin, ready to start. And actually things look very different for you from this angle. You've got a different perspective. Things look very different for you now. From where you stand now, things look very different in July. And then even that they did at the beginning of the year. You know, it's very different. You're in a very different environment right now. And it's because of something from, you can't see me, but I'm touching my belly button. I'm like going like this because it's like, it comes from that part of you that it comes from your essence, you know, your sacral chakra, chakra number 2, and your solar plexus, chakra number 3. It comes from that space, that area of a release in a sense, of an opening up, in a sense, an opening up of you, of your intuition, of your psychic abilities, or whatever it is for you. There's a sense of opening up. Some people, this will be related to children, to fertility. None of these cards are fertility cards, but I'm just telling you that that's what I'm getting. There's a sense of there's been restrictions in that area, in that part of your body for some of you, and you've been unable to. See, I ain't no doctor, so whatever, you know, you go to the doctors about that type of thing. But I feel like if you have been unable to conceive, that it's like you're opening up. It's like you're opening up like a flower, like your body is opening up, like tiny sneezing. It's like your body's opening up. It's like things are opening up like a flower. So you're able to receive the things that you want, if that's children. You're able to receive them. We have the world card basically represents a new beginning, new start, but there's so much more going into it. It's very spiritual. It's very spiritual. It's multi-level. It's multifaceted. This reading, actually, it's not your standard new start, blah blah blah. It's not your standard thing. There's something much more intricate going on for you guys at the moment. So something much more spiritual that you're connecting with, a part of yourself that you're connecting with, and on a much deeper level, on a much more real level, on a level that feels so real to you now. We next have the High Priestess, which basically is it is that card. You know, it's linked to the moon, and the moon is about that. It's about our awareness, isn't it? And it's about the known unknown. You know, I said on the last video, you know, if you went to a scientist, what's a dream, he couldn't tell you, but that's still part of your reality. I mean, he could give you a definition of what a dream is, you know, but, you know, is a dream real then? Is a dream real? Are dreams real? I mean, yes, they are to me. It depends what you say real is. And it's kind of like you're engaging with all these aspects of yourself now, or in new aspects of yourself that you've known about, but has remained a mystery to you. Now you engage with them. Now you're able to engage with them. There's new experience. This is a very spiritual reading. It's there's doors opening, and there's communications happening. And by communications, I mean messages, you know, intuitions, repeating numbers, symbols and signs, and messages from nature, seeing butterflies or ladybirds or whatever. You're engaging with those things on a newer level. They're taking on a more real as real as this. You know, they're taking on a more real a more real form for you now. There's a significance to these things for you. There's a significance to symbols and signs, and for some reason there's a significance, and it could have been because of a sadness, a bereavement that's happened that's actually opens that door for you, that actually opens up that door for you, that helps you to sort of engage with those things. This is the energy that I'm picking up on. We next have, I feel like if I do you know what I feel like I could do right now? I feel like I could close my eyes and think a sentence and communicate that sentence directly to your brain, and you would hear it. That's what I feel like. It feels like that. It feels like you are that open. It feels like you're getting it. You're getting something. You're communicating differently. This is a very different reading for me, actually. But it just feels like that. You are very open right now, Leo. So I would definitely say engage with that. And this is what I mean. This usually is about emotional baggage, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like the aspects of you. I mean, these are the two. This is 2 cups here. It's as if, and this is 2, isn't she? She's 2, the High Priestess. It's as if this is what you've ignored. You've ignored this part of yourself, and now you are no longer, that's what you're changing. You're no longer ignoring that part of yourself. The Hierophant, the message of the Hierophant for me is always the same. You can live your rules or someone else's. You can live your life or somebody else's life. The Hierophant knows all the rules. The Hierophant knows the lay of the land. He knows what society expects and what the world expects and what the structures of our institutions expect. But the Hierophant, i.e. you, have a direct connection to the divine, have a direct connection to the divine, and that could be your intuition, that could, whatever you believe, that could be God, that could be your angels. You have a direct connection to those things now. And so are you going to listen to them? Are you going to listen to that? Or are you going to listen to the accepted wisdom of society? That's your choice, and that's a question of the Hierophant. And it's as if that's what you're going to be asking yourself. And it's as if in the past you always listened to accepted wisdom, you know, what society says. You know, you go to school, you do well at school, you get a job, you get a house, you get married, you have children, you work hard all your life, you retire at 65. You know, it's as if you've lived your life. This is like living your life like that, and then now you realize there's more, there's something else that's been on the edge of your awareness that you haven't explored, and now it's time for you to explore it. It's that energy, and it's now finally I'm grounding myself, because I was very spaced out a moment ago, because it felt very, as I said, it felt like I could literally close my eyes, think a sentence. Do you know what I'm doing now? I'm actually, when I said that, I didn't actually think a sentence, but I did kind of think something, an image came to my head, and it'd be very interesting to see if any of you in the comments could sort of, what image, you know, what did something come to your mind? What was it? I'd be intrigued, because I feel like it's that open for you guys right now. You know, and it's hard to sort of speak through that, but I think I did quite well. I managed it, but that's what it feels like. So you guys are this last part of July, very heightened spirituality. It's heightened spirituality, heightened awareness, heightened connection to that thing, to that side of life and that side of yourself, and you actually actively engaging with it. So you might do things that you've never done before. So you might start talking to yourself. I talk to myself. Check out my conscious meditations. I love them. You know, that's me talking to myself. But it's the type of thing that you will start doing. You might just decide to go out and buy some tarot cards, or you might just feel like you might just talk out loud to a loved one of yours that has passed on. You might be able to, it's that type of thing. It's like, even in the past you thought it was stupid to do that. Oh, I'm not going to sort, but now it's like, you do it, and it feels, and you understand that it feels different, or it feels real, you know. And there's this energy here of the Ten of Cups. So we've got this, I mean, this is the happiest card in the deck. It's interesting. We have, what an interesting reading. We have these major arcanas here. We know that we're gaining clarity. We're gaining clarity, clear wisdom, and clear discernment as we go through, this month of July. You know, and I really feel like there's a it's the hottest day in history right now. I swear to God, I'm dying. I'm so hot. The Ten of Cups here is a happiness that is a joy that originates from within. Seeing that joy manifested out in the world. That's what basically the Ten of Cups represents, because we have the things that we want, the things that we hold in. So say, for example, if you, it's just an easy example, so I'll say it. You've always wanted to be a tarot reader. Or you haven't always wanted to be a tarot reader. You haven't always wanted to be a tarot reader, but you turn the telly on, you watch reality TV, this is what happens to me, and you can pick up on people's thoughts, or you can pick up on people's, or you know how people are feeling, or you can tell. I mean, I was watching Djokovic. I mean, do you know what? I think one day I should do this with sports stars, because I tell you what, watching tennis is hard for me, man, because when you're watching, I've got to watch it live. I've watched live tennis or live snooker. Sometimes I love live snooker. I love it. I love watching snooker. I love it. And you're watching these. I watch these things, and literally, sometimes I can't watch it because I can literally hear, or I don't know if I can hear their actual thoughts, but I pick up on their energies, and I know what's going to happen. Like, I know what's going to happen. Like, and no offense, I mean, I love Serena. Serena is my woman, but I knew Halep was going to win that match 3 days before she even. I should have put a bet on. I've lost out so much money last month. Anyway, I digress. But it could be something like you. It could be like you have those things. You know what I mean? You're watching TV, and you think, and you just think it's your imagination. And this time, even all the times you thought it was imagination, this time you know it's not your imagination. And you respond to it. You say it out loud, or you say to this person, "Oh, I know that this person's going to fall off the chair." And you say it out loud to your partner, and then they fall off the chair, and you're like, you and your partner like, oh my God, that just happened. It's kind of like that type of energy for you guys this month, over this next couple of weeks. And the Ten of Cups, that energy is like, that's something that's within you. And it's like seeing that manifested in the world. So it's like you thinking in your head, as I said, I do, it happens to me all the time, not all the time actually, but it happens to me sometimes. And as I said, I'll be watching a program and I'll just blurt out a word, and then that's the next word. I mean, random stuff that happens. It happens to me, yeah. And it'll be random, like the most random thing ever, and it'll come on. Do you know? And it'll come on. The next word out of his mouth will be that word. And that's the Ten of Cups. It's like that. Well, that's an example of Ten of Cups. It's not the Ten of Cups, but it's that. It's like something from the inside being manifested outside. Something joyful, something that's happy, and it's kind of like that for you. It's like seeing evidence of your intuition, of your joy, of your truth being manifested in the world, and that can be in the form of your wishes being fulfilled. Like in this instance, we talk about this being the wish fulfillment. Abundance, happiness and abundance, and that's because these things are from within. It's the things that we wanted, the things that we prayed for, the things that we secretly wished for in our lives being happening in front of us, occurring in front of us for us to see and for the world to see. And it feels miraculous and it seems miraculous. So it could be that type of example like I've given you, like, you say, right, I bet you, like, the match is going to end, this is going to be the score, or no, it's going to look like they're going to win, but right at the last minute she's going to, whatever it is, and it's going to happen, and you're going to, oh my God, and then it's going to be like confirmation, yeah, I'm psychic, or whatever it is for you. And that could be anything. It doesn't have to be psychic abilities or whatever, but it can be, and it is definitely for some people, or not psychic, whatever you want to say, that type of thing, intuitive, blah blah blah. Okay, I'm digressing here. Look how long this has taken, so I'm going to speed up a little bit, because otherwise I've still got lots of other readings to do. So we've got the Two of this is going into August, first week of August. We've got the Two of Wands, we've got the Page of Cups, we've got the Four of Cups with a clarifier. Oh, and we've got 8. This is like fast becoming one of my favourite cards, I swear. 8 of Pentacles. Love this card. Okay, so twos are commitments. They're all about commitments. The commitments that we make to people, to our jobs, to our lives, to ourselves, to our consciousness, to our ideas, to our passions. And in this instance, it's the Wands energy. So it's about something we're passionate about, or not necessarily something you're passionate about, knowingly passionate about, but something that you feel. An energy that you're drawn to, and a direction or a person that you're drawn toward, that type of energy. So there is opportunity. That's why we talk about this card as being an opportunity to see the new world, for this new world to be revealed to you, by you taking action, walking through that door. I mean, we've got this world, haven't we? And this is really about you being pulled in that direction. In August, you being asked to walk through that portal, to walk through that threshold, and into this new level of awareness for some of you, into new experiences for others of you. And what happens with that is we feel vulnerable. This is a card of vulnerability. This is a card of you, that heart, that wish that's within you, that's now manifesting in the world. Always feeling nervous, feeling shy, feeling uncertain, feeling like we don't know what's going to happen. If we say out loud, I can see dead people, or I can whatever. I tell you what, my friend said to me the other week. He said to me, because I was saying, God, I said, guys, you don't understand how ill I've been. I said, I'm absolutely. We'd booked tickets to go to see the Spice Girls, which was amazing, darling. I loved it. But I was absolutely, as you probably remember on my channel, I just couldn't work. I was absolutely exhausted. And one of my friends, best friends since we were 16 years old, so over 20 years now, and he said, oh God, well, it's your choice. And I swear to God, if I was not a peace-loving hippie, I would have slapped him in the face. No, it's not my fecking choice. I'm going to nearly swear then. No, it's not my fecking choice. Do you think it's like, no, I won't compare it to that. But anyway, it's like, these things in our life it's not your choice. It's not my choice to be sensitive to the point where I can watch tennis and know that he's going to miss that serve, or know that she's going to, it's not my choice to quit my job so that I can devote my life to making videos on YouTube, giving tarot readings. Who would choose that? I mean, it's your choice in that you do it. I could have chosen not to do that, obviously, but the feelings that you have, you can't ignore them. What it actually does when we ignore ourselves, when we ignore this whole, it's like ignoring a whole part of yourself. When you ignore it, when you say, no, I don't hear those voices, or no, I don't feel that energy, or no, I don't think that, or I don't know. When you ignore those, what it does to you, actually, it makes you ill. It made me ill. It made me physically ill over my life, because I was trying to ignore and deny those things. And once you admit those things, yeah, I'm ill still, but it's a different type of illness. But it's because it's scary as heck. How do you say that to people? How can you sit and have a relationship with someone? Did you know what my life is like? When I've got him sitting in front of me. This is not my friend, this is someone else, right? When I'm dating, this is in my dating life. Or in my relationship life, which that were funny. I were other side of the world. This is whilst I was even a teacher. I was at the other side of the world on holiday with my family. And I knew what my now ex-boyfriend was up to. I was not a tarot reader at this point, but I could see it and I could hear it. And when I got home, I had to tell him what I could see and I could hear, and he had to admit what was going on. Do you know what I'm saying? So you think that's a choice? It is not a choice. It's not a choice. And for you, because we feel so crazy. How do you say as a teacher, when I used to be a teacher in school, how do you say to people, well, I can see what this kid's gone through. I can see what happened to this little lad last night. I can see how this person's feeling. I know what's going on in that child's household. What level of responsibility is that? You think people are happy to walk around knowing this stuff? No. You think it's easy? No, it isn't at all. Anyway, I don't know why I'm shouting at you, because you're going to be feeling that. This level of vulnerability that we feel, it's intense, and you have those levels of questions, and well, what if, and what do I say, and how much do you tell people? And yeah, you're walking down the street and you know that this person's close to death. What do you say? Do you say anything? Is it your imagination? Are you going crazy? Blah 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 blah. This is Page of Cups in this instance. I mean, it's a very spiritual reading, this. So some people might be like, you don't know what I'm talking about. But for others of you, this is really going to resonate. And the interesting thing, now we come to I mean, this is basically the card of feeling vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable in a nutshell. But still acting on that. Even though still taking action toward this new world, toward these new experiences. And you can make that relate to your life, feeling anxious about, what we think about. This could be a relationship, for example, wanting a new relationship, a new marriage, for example, feeling vulnerable, but still taking action toward it. And the reason you feel vulnerable is something that you're going to investigate. So this is your emotional foundations, number 4, your emotional foundations, and this is why you felt vulnerable. Because it's right, okay. Because I get this, because it's isolating. Because how do you tell people? You know how hard it is for me to use Tinder? Do you know? I mean, I can't use it anyway, because it's just too much hassle, or Bumble or whatever like that. It's because when you look at someone's picture, I don't need you to talk to me. I don't need you to be a key wisdom tarot. Yes, I can tell you what's going on in your head and in your life just by looking at you, just by looking at your body, just by looking at how you. I can tell just by looking at you. Yeah, I can. And That's why it's scary as heck, because you've got people in front of you who you can hear what they. Oh, anyway, so it's can be isolating, and I think for you, there's a sense of you've not wanted to examine this. You've not wanted to examine these feelings closely, what you've been feeling. You've not wanted to examine that closely. You've not wanted to look closely at that, even though you are going to do that now. You are going to do that closely, but the reason you haven't wanted to is because, yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I don't know any. Well, you know what? There's a lot of. I'm sure there's a lot. I know there's a lot of people on who do tarot on YouTube making a heck of a lot of money, because I know how much I make and it's a pittance compared to because of the views, the views that some people get. Man, they're making money, and good on them. But it's hard. This card is about, it is a card of healing, but it's not necessarily, it's a card, it's where we are before we heal, i.e. in pain, in isolation, worried, nervous, scared, afraid, potentially, and this is really a part of yourself that hasn't you've not shed as much light on it. So for some of you, yes, also I'm not a Leo. For some people, this could be, as I said, a psychic ability, for example. But for others of you, this could be a relationship. This could be the truth about the feelings that you have for somebody, or the truth about the feelings you have about marriage, for example. Or it could be your sexuality, the truth about your sexuality, and not wanting to look at that and not wanting to examine it, but it being time to. So I say in the Reiki, because did I tell you that you're getting Reiki? Yeah, you're getting Reiki in this video, and I say in that it's about the remnants of the walls that we've been dismantling. They're going to be finally, once and for all, taken down, healed, swept away, over this time period. And that process has been a long process. It's been a long time for you to get to where you're at now. For you to get to that place where you're allowed to admit to yourself that you do experience, if you're psychic, experience life on multiple levels, or that you are holding on to things that have restricted your ability to form the type of relationships that you want, which is what these two indicate, for example. So this is really a time of, I want to say it's not necessarily clearing out for you. It's about the truth. It's about acknowledging for yourself the truth of what you experience, how you experience life, and what you've been experiencing when it comes to your emotions, or when it comes to your psyche, your psychology, your mind, and how you allow yourself to think, and where you allow your attention to even go in your mind. There were I know that there were rooms in my head that I would never even go into years ago. And then in 2013, when my nana passed away, when I started on this journey that led me to here, I said I don't want it to be any part of my mind that I'm scared to go anymore. And that's like you. It's like now there's been a part of your mind where you've refused to go, and that part of your mind could be the divorce of your parents when you were growing up, or the abuse that you suffered, or the abuse that you witnessed, or this tragic event that happened years and years ago, or it could be your psychic ability, and or your intuitive ability, or your sensitivity, emotional sensitivity, whatever. You've not wanted to examine that part of yourself. You've not wanted to look at that part of yourself. And this time period is about looking at those parts of yourself. It's about opening those doors to those worlds that you've been avoiding, because you are ready to face them now. You are ready to face them now. And we end with this card. I'll look at this card last at the end. This is the Eight of Pentacles. This is you becoming a more refined, a more true version of yourself, and we talk about honing your skills with this card, but I really see it as uncovering more and more of who you are, chipping away, sanding away. What's that? Planing away. That's a planer, isn't it? One of those sanders. Planing away those parts of yourself that have built up, those calluses that have built up over time on you, on your shoulders, on you. Removing them slowly, bit by bit, chiseling them away to reveal who you are, so that you stand in this rainbow, in the dreams that you've created, in the imagination that you've created, in the world that you've wanted. Okay, being a true reflection of yourself. Very spiritual reading, actually, and for some of you it will hit in the spiritual sense, but for others of you, you will have been like, interested to listen to this reading just because you're like, what the heck is she talking about? But you'll be able to apply it to to your life as well. Let's look at your final outcome card. This is wow, amazing. Now, do you know the Emperor? The question for the Emperor is, what makes me who I am? And this is about you. Did I say happy birthday, Leo? I hope I said happy birthday. Happy birthday, Leo. This is really about you guys using your birthday period, actually your birthday month, to actually understand, go on the journey to finding out, or you've been on that journey to finding out what makes me who I am. And that is what gives you the confidence and the strength to now see those things manifested in the world. I mean, this is what this is about this time for you. It's about really getting to grips with who you are and not shying away from it, not turning away from it, recognizing that, yes, it was challenging to get to this point, to understand these things, but that is what you now can build on, this new knowledge. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because this video is going to go on and on and on. I've got so many more readings to do. So thank you so much, Leo, for being here. Have a wonderful birthday. I hope you like this reading. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share this video on your WhatsApp and your Facebook with your friends, with your family. And don't forget to subscribe as well, so that you can know when I upload new videos. I've got a pick a card reading that's available for you guys as well to check that out, as well as the Key Wisdom playlist, which houses my conscious meditations, as well as many other little bits of information. If you're interested in receiving your Reiki, it's free, it's available, it's been activated during this reading. You want to learn a little bit more about Reiki, you can watch the video, which I'll probably link at the end of this video, which tells you about Reiki and how to receive your distance healing this month. Okay, my darling Leos, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful couple of weeks. Have a wonderful birthday month, and I will see you all again at the beginning of August with your brand new love reading. Okay, my darlings? Take care, my darlings. Bye.